Mr. Kaushik?
Yeah, good afternoon, all of you, and thank you very much. First of all, I think it's a big effort by ISGF. Not only the small team, I am quite closely associated with the entire team. The way they have, taken this event, remarkable, effort. I think the way these people have. So thank you very much. And second is the announcement which just Joint Secretary made on the NSGM, National Smart Grid Mission. I think this is a great effort of the entire community and entire industry that all of us we are working. I think this will be a very big thing in times to come for smart grid in India. That's a very big thing. Now, in fact, let me play a role. Rather than playing slides, let me play a role. My topic is a smart consumer. I'm a consumer, first of all. I'm not from science, anything. So I'm first of all a consumer. So how can I be smart? Let me give you a background where I live. I live in an apartment complex in Gurgaon, which is a bulk supply kind of a thing that, the distribution company supplies power to me at one point, and there are 550 apartments. So I am one of them. And the internal infrastructure is being laid by the developer. Now, what I need as a consumer? First of all, if you look at the power tariff structure to the consumers like me, there is the meters installed in my premises are two-way meters. They take readings of the grid as well as they take readings of the DG backup. The DG backup rates are 16 rupees a unit, and grid supply is normally the same what is to the other consumer, 5 rupees or so per unit. On an average, my bill for, let's say, the grid, somewhere around 3,000 rupees, and similar amount comes from the DG. Because when there is no power, I consume power from the DG. So what do I need? That means buying a 16 rupees a unit of power is, and that is from DG, I think it is it's criminal. Lot of carbon emission. So first of all, my first priority as a consumer is I need a 24/7 power supply. That is my first need. Now, I cannot remain without 24/7 power supply. So this is modern India. Of course, India is not just India. This is just a small example I'm giving. There are other aspects of consumers also, but I'm giving one aspect of a consumer which is aspiring. I need quality of power. That means my equipments which are installed in my premises should be safe and good enough to take a good quality of power. It should not be fluctuating. It should be exactly 50 hertz to 20 volts what is being promised to me. And thirdly, I would like to be treated as a customer, as a consumer, and not just that some utility is obliging me. That is the trend, because there is no option today for a smart consumer. So how can I be smart? Unless I am not empowered, I cannot be smart. So tariff reduction, 24/7 power supply, and quality of power supply are my basic requirement of a consumer. That is how I can think of becoming a smart. Now, why do I need to be smart? First of all, most of the data are related to the billing. Like, for example, I take a very good analogy of telecom. Today, when all of us get a telephone bill, sometime if there is a very high bill, we try to analyze that whether I did lot of international call or lot of SMSs, where is the gap, which plan I took and how it is. So that means I need a good amount of detailed analysis of my bill. So how it will be possible unless we do not have a good connectivity, the last mile communication, this kind of a data is, of course, there is a lot of changes and reforms has happened in last, let's say 7-8 years because of the RAP DRP program or the smart grid wave which is coming up in last 4 or 5 years, but still there is a lot to go. I definitely would like to have, as a smart consumer, the time of use. I think other person has give a different dimension also, the type of use. And third thing which I need as a smart consumer is my flexibility to switch on the different operator. Why should I be just limited to one particular operator? So this is, as a consumer, this is what I need, because this will help me, this will actually help consumer to get reduced tariff and 24/7 power supply and quality of power when there is a competition. And of course, so how all these things are possible? There are different ways possible. Worldwide people have done it. UK has done it. Other countries have done it. So it is quite possible that in India also it can happen. Fourth aspect of a smart consumer is that net metering. Apart from time of use and type of use, I think once net metering at the consumer level get operational, that means I should have, our current electrical structure is designed for a one-way communication. So if it can be converted to a two-way communication, that means I can feed the power also to the grid when I'm producing it and while I'm using it. So big cities, I think they can be very well converted on the rooftop solars. I think Delhi is putting a lot of efforts in that direction. So net metering is my requirement. Then another angle comes from a CRM system. See, what CRM system provide is, a 360-degree view of a consumer from a different angle. When I call, I don't know how many people do call the utility companies regarding loss of power or quality of power. But if I call a utility, I think the first thing that it comes to my mind that the operator behind that should have a view, my 360-degree view in front of his computer, and he should be able to answer that this is what your load, and this is what you are doing, and he should be able to tell me that at what time the power will come, and this is what the problem is. So we do not have that kind of an information system today. As a consumer, I do require. And another angle of smart consumer that I would like to have is that my appliances, that they also need to be connected with the metering system, either through an in-home display. I should have, at my home, I should have some kind of information available that, this is what is happening in my energy uses. So, and my appliances, I think when I will be able to control all my appliances, maybe from an Android app, from my mobile, I think this is what, as a consumer, I need. So what I need is, I think we should leverage the kind of penetration. I think other people said 900 million number of mobile phones. So why can't that platform be used for empowering the consumer? So I, as a smart consumer, I'm looking forward for an app which can give me the complete analysis of my uses and everything that I do. I mean, whether I'm a prepaid user or a postpaid user, I should be able to get the complete information on my app. And another angle, I think, which is very important, which is coming up in the system, is that consumer is the king, and each and every user of electricity is a consumer. He should be in all industry you go. He is defining the industry what is required, and any industry which is not listening to the consumer, I think they lag behind. So I think what different angle we need in this industry is that a consumer angle. I think it's easier said than done, because there are different challenges, that it is so regulated market, the coal is regulated, the generation is also regulated, transmission is regulated. So it's very easy to say that I need all these things, but how do I need? Now, coming back that this is possible. So, can I have my slides also, please? Who are the stakeholders? I mean, this is what I explained as a consumer in a role play. So, if I just articulate in that, who are the different stakeholders? Next slide, please. So, these are the different stakeholders in the ecosystem of the entire, and consumer is one of the guys. So, I represented how a consumer should be empowered. Next, please. So, so ultimately, the game is. I think this industry needs. The last 4 or 5 years, I think we are talking and discussing in various forums that how this India is 200, 300 million number of meters, when it will kickstart. I'll give you an analogy with the telecom, how it started. I think people remember that when there was a time, 16 rupees a unit was an incoming call. And nobody was even willing to take a call because it costed incoming also. Somebody, I think, good mind thought in the government, let's make incoming free. That was the game changer for the telecom industry in India. There were a lot of resistance to that because the operators said we will be losing this much amount of money if you make it free. But within 1 year, the kind of return it gave, you had 10 times multiplication of the subscriber. And that was the day, and today I think where we are, the world is watching the telecom revolution, what we are doing. The kind of innovations that we have done in telecom operators management, nowhere else has been experimented the way it has been experimented in India. I mean, what we have done, even a per call basis, I think if any operator is managing, they says, I just manage the subscriber, you manage the network, you manage the IT system. So this is the kind of innovation we have done.
Could you wrap up in 2 minutes?
Okay.
I've been told that we're coming close to the end of the time.
Okay, thank you so much. Can I have the next slide, please? So I think I have explained why we need, as an empowered customers. So maybe I think one slide I need where I think there is a description of how connectivity happens in our solution. Yeah, so this is a little bit about Cyan. Cyan is a British company. We are headquartered in Cambridge. We are around 45 people. We started in India around 3 years back. Today we are 8 people, and we have got 3 projects in hand. In fact, one project we are implementing in Mysore, which is of 22,000 smart meters. This is the first smart grid project which has been awarded. So we are implementing that project as an end-to-end solution provider. We are a communication provider company, but we want to show, because this is an initial stage of the development, that how everything can be managed. So next slide, please. So this is what, if you look at the pictorial diagram, we provide a RF mesh-based technology which works on a 865 megahertz. Like each meter is fitted with a module inside the meter, factory fitted, and it talks to the DCU, data concentrator unit, in a typical Indian dense environment, maybe around 100 meters of range we get on 865 megahertz practically. Of course, if the line of sight is greater, then you can achieve bigger range. But what we have achieved is around 150 meters, and approximately 40 to 50 meters can be connected to our DCU. And our DCU on the backhaul is connected to GPRS or any other mod, maybe a fiber or anything, to the head-end software that we provide at the data center. So this is what a simple technology we have developed on mesh, RF mesh. So it's a self-healing and self-configuration. I think what other industry standards are available. So I think this is what we offer, and it is a low-cost technology specifically designed for India, because we are operating into the emerging country market. Our USP is not that we come from developed countries like US and some of the European installation. We have developed this technology in India,